Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here once again, and today is a very special announcement for a very impressive idea. I'll put it that way. Some of you may have known for a little while now that BeamNG Multiplayer is possible through the use of an app called Parsec. And now that we've done a lot of testing through various videos, mini events, and now a full-size event, we have ironed out all the kinks, and it is now possible to do realistic tournaments. And I thought, why not bring this to the fullest of its ability by announcing an official BeamNG Multiseat Endurance Championship. Points-based, everything's like that. You have realistic penalties, all that. It'll be awesome. Now, I do have a script here, but if you want to just learn ahead of time, you can just go ahead and look at all the videos I have pinned in the top right in the eye. And that should get you up to speed with how we do things. Now, I do have a bit of a script, and the script is actually the post for this announcement on the BeamNG forums, so I'll link that down below. If you cannot see it, that's because you're not a member of the Beam Monsters group. If you want to know how to join the Beam Monsters group, sadly, groups are broken and nobody can leave or join any groups anymore, at least for now. If this gets fixed sometime early next year, then ignore this, but you know. For now, if you cannot see this post, I'm sorry, you cannot participate. I mean, you could, but it'd be much less obvious, because this post is where I'm going to be posting all the all the scores, which is like important in this event. So going on with the post, how does this work? Well, first you obviously gotta get Parsec in front of me on it. I'm GameBoy3800, as I am on most sites. And you need to do that if you actually want to join the event, because you're not going to be able to join my game if you don't have Parsec or Friendly on it. You need to make sure you have a stable internet connection of at least 5 megabytes per second, either up or down. I'm pretty sure for you it mostly needs down, but for me it'll need upload speed. And I'm thankfully capable of doing that, but if you don't have that good internet, then don't waste your time. You will just have a laggy mess if you try to join. My computer's pretty not trash, so it can handle a full lobby of people, so you don't need to worry about that. And with enough trial and error, we figured out that we can shuffle between 4 and 5 players, controller rights around in Parsec, and have it be relatively seamless for you, but for me it just is time consuming to just keep tabbing back into Parsec and all that stuff. But in the video it'll seem pretty seamless, so don't worry about that. And if this is successful enough, we might do a bigger event of like split into 2, but then combined into one video, a World Finals event with 16 players. I don't know how that'll work, but we'll figure it out if that's what you guys want. We'll try to do one track each weekend for the month of December into early January, starting December 14th, 2019. To set the racing heats, we'll dogpile into my Discord server and rush to the racing heats group chats after we discuss how things will go down in one of the other group chats. Then I would make a Parsec party and we would all connect to my PC at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard on Saturdays, and possibly Sundays too if we cannot get an entire show recorded in one night. To join my event, you absolutely must be a part of my Discord server to be able to get into the racing heats and allow proper coordination. Server link is down below. Alright, so now for the tracks and stuff in the actual events. We will use 4 tracks, each Rutherford 2012 by Jedi Presence, Manchester Custom by Mike Bevava, RC Expo Center by RC, and Gillette 2015 by Doc Holiday 01. I tried to include some OG map makers along with some new stars in map making to make sure they all get their chance to shine. Feel free to practice as much as you like on these tracks, but here's the kicker. Track order is completely random and, as a bonus, decided last minute. Should keep you on your toes. Now some big news here. This will be a points-based system. Just like real monster truck events, you gotta place good if you want to get points. Here's how a typical 8-truck field will be scored. The winner of racing gets 10 points, second place gets 9, third place gets 8. I might change that to like 10, then 8, then 6. I'll see how that counts out. It'll be like finalized once the event actually gets started. Same scoring in two-wheel skills and freestyle. Winner gets 10, second gets whatever. To make the endurance title of the championship actually worth anything and not just clickbait, for every event you can join, you get 2 extra bonus points. So if you can make it to more than one event, that will inherently give you a competitive advantage. So if you enter all the events, you will have 8 points added to your score at the end of the series. 7th and 8th place positions for any event will not get any points other than the entry points that you get for entering an event. All points will be counted up on the forum post and probably in the video too, but it's just better to have constant scores posted on the forum post. The biggest news for this series, I would like it to be really realistic. So that means very few resets. So you gotta watch out for your trucks. So if you roll over in a racing pass or in two-wheel skills, instead of resetting, I will node grabber flip you over and you can then proceed back to your parking spot. If you significantly damage your vehicle, see if you can limp it to your pit area. But if you have to reset it to make it drivable, you can reset, but at the cost of having to skip the next event. I highly encourage you to hold off on resetting until it's your time to go, because you never know what can happen. I'll explain more later. Now, this is to be just like a real-life event. If you lose a wheel or otherwise break during racing or two-wheel skills, it would take some time to get the parts fixed up and ready to go. So the same principle applies here as well. So if you find yourself going out of control, just lock her down, hold the brakes, and let yourself just fall over rather than leave the hammer down and risk destroying the truck or grenading the engine. Engine damage is also a mandatory reset, so if you start spewing smoke out the headers, you will be turned off. And if it's still smoking by the next event, you need to reset. This means you must watch your gear changes, and you should also really avoid using boosted superchargers to help keep the temps more manageable. If you destroy your truck in freestyle, there's no such penalty. It's the end of the event, you can go as big as you like. Likewise, the penalty is not applied during pre-recording, race practice, or anything like that. That'd just be unfair. If there's a track that requires changing track variant to get to either two-wheel skills or freestyle after we do racing, the trucks that were damaged in the last event and would have needed a reset to continue must still sit the next event out, as if there is no track change. That's just to give everyone, make sure we're all on the same page. If your truck was damaged last event, and you need to reset to get it drivable for this event, you still got to set out that one. Why did I choose this rule set? Obviously to keep it more realistic. BeamNG's Achilles heel is the fact that you could pretty easily win any event by just keeping the hammer down, airing it out, and dying in like a minute. But for here, we don't really want to do that. This rule set should eliminate all that anyways. Now the general rules for each event, this will be a long one, so get ready for this, buckle down. Truck tuning restrictions, the use of pretty much any blaze, engine, or tire part is banned. I mean, you can use standard 66-inch tires, but if you use slicks or smaller or larger tires, then no, you don't do that. The use of the Blaze Insane engine and super boosted 1071 superchargers are both banned. The super big engine should be obvious, as that's way too fast and cheaty and broken, but the supercharger I could see being argued. Simply put, it's pretty much a guaranteed dead motor by the end of normal racing. It's banned more for logic than for fairness. The Blaze Insane radiator is also blocked so trucks can actually overheat. All trucks must use standard 66-inch tires of any description. So no Blaze Racing slicks or smaller or larger tire size. Besides these, you can tune the truck in any way you like. You can choose to use the Blaze short wheelbase suspension or anything like that. That's all fair. You can use coilovers. You can tune the gears however you like of the standard parts and Blaze transmission and stuff. If you make a specific tune you want to run, you need to send me the .pc file so that I can load it up on my end and let you drive it when you actually connect to my computer. It's easiest for you to send the PC file to me via Discord, so it'll be simple drag and drop to my vehicle's config folder. Again, my server link is down below. Truck selections. Because you can use my computer as the host, you have access to all the trucks I do. So if you wanted to test out the new F-150 or any of the other new bodies, you can choose it. If you have a specific truck you want to drive that I don't, simply put, you must send it to me. Now, for pre-race / practice, I'll usually give like between 10 and 30 minutes, maybe more, free-range practice / messing around / chaos, just to have some fun before we all get super serious racing helmets on and such. It should help you get used to the controls, camera angle, and the fact that at any moment, someone may T-bone you at 80 miles an hour. And so for racing, should be pretty obvious. Stay reasonably within the racing lines. This will likely be the first time anyone, or many people, have experienced BeamNG Multiplayer and racing in a third-person perspective up in the sky. So there's some leeway here. More than 3 tires go over the inside turning line, there will be a 5-second penalty. Due to the nature of how we need to record racing in a third-person overhead view of the track, I really suggest you practice racing like this on your own time before we get like that into the real events. For the entirety of racing, the game will be in multi-seat mode, so that everyone has control of their own trucks at all time. So it won't be a case of one person going and then the next to see who gets a faster time. It is real head-to-head racing. Multi-seat mode may be disabled and re-enabled when it's time for the next racing heat, as the game is flawless and of course works perfectly when you're trying to do something it is not designed to do. After your race, please park back to your spot to clear the track for the next racers. If a truck gets broken and there's debris on the field, I will node grabber it back to your pits to be semi-realistic like that. To decide who you're racing against, it will depend if you can sneak into one of the racing heats on my Discord server when I give the signal. You must be a member of my Discord server if you want any chance of joining. Once the racing heats are decided, we can all hop back into one main group chat to allow us to view and cheer the other drivers on. The winners of Racing Heat A and Racing Heat B will be dragged to Racing Heat C for the Heat C final to determine the overall racing winner. Two-wheel skills. This will be a normal rule set. 2 hits to do the best stunts and combos on 2 wheels or less. Obviously, more realism is better. For scoring, all competitors will give their score for each run, minus the one performing, giving a score from 1 to 10. The scores will be added up and then averaged to get the final score. If there's a tie for the lead, whoever's run was more realistic will likely be declared the winner. Otherwise, stay within the normal track boundaries, plan your moves, and have fun. Remember to not to hurt the truck too bad as to not need to reset. And for 2-wheel skills and freestyle, multi-seat will be disabled to allow for normal camera and vehicle control. So you don't need to worry about it being super high third-person perspective. After one truck is done and parked up, I'll tab to the next truck in line. The only downside to this is that then everyone is connected to that one truck, and someone could sabotage the run. If this happens, the evildoer will be insta-kicked for the rest of the event. And for just big overall rule, only I can RAI a truck. So if you don't suddenly decide, don't suddenly decide that you're in charge and can choose when someone's run is over, because you can't. Don't do that. Sometimes there is a bug where BeamNG will randomly shift gears, and the only way you fix that is a hard truck reset. In this case, there will be no reset penalty given as it's the game being, of course, completely flawless. Two-wheel skills in freestyle order will be the reverse results of racing. So racing winner goes last, second place goes second last, and so on. After 4 or 5 people do their runs, depending on if someone's running a keyboard, we can have 5 people connected. They will have their controller or keyboard privileges revoked for the rest, so that the rest of the competitors can connect and be ready for their runs. Parsec is also flawless, so if we need to disconnect you entirely to get the others connected and recognized properly, don't be alarmed. I'll give you the signal when you can rejoin and judge properly. I didn't mention this in the post, but I'll mention it now. Parsec, and not Parsec actually, but BeamNG has a hard limit of 4 Xbox controllers. Most people here use an Xbox controller, and even though Parsec allows up to 8 people in a party, only 4 or 5 of them, if one of them uses a keyboard, can connect to my computer at any given time. I should rephrase. You can all connect, but you won't be able to control anything because I'll have to shuffle around who gets to have what controls. We'll discuss it more in detail if you can join in on one of the events. Freestyle. Scoring will be the same as two-wheel skills. Each run gets 2 minutes from the moment they do their first jump or stunt to do their best stunts, combos, and wow moments to impress the other players who are judges. Filling the whole 2 minutes is ideal, so try to aim to get that for the best chance of winning and get the proper score you feel you deserve. Alright, we're getting close to the end here. Overall rules: if you damage someone else's truck, they can get a free truck reset regardless of their truck damage and get no penalty. While you have to keep the damage you inflicted on your own truck. This should keep people from wanting to ram into others for literally no reason. This is why you should aim to limp your truck back to your parking spot should it be damaged, because you never know if you might be able to get a free reset from someone smashing into you. Alright, so for the recording process, we'll all get connected in a Parsec party on my computer as the host. Once we're all spawned in our appropriate trucks, I'll full screen the game for maximum visibility and begin recording. From here it should be pretty indistinguishable, of course internet speed dependent of course, from your own game running, and hopefully have little to zero latency. I will not record our voices, only the game audio, so you don't need to worry about accidentally swearing or anything like that. After racing, we'll stop recording to take a break for a little bit, then onto two wheels, and another break after that if we need it. Then finally freestyle. After freestyle, we may do an encore stunt of some sort. Feel free to throw me some ideas. Alright, and that should be about it. As per usual, I claim the Voodoo Envy monster truck. You can claim whatever you like that hasn't been claimed already. Again, you can ask around on my Discord server what trucks are available. If you need more information about this, please don't hesitate to contact me on either the Beam forums or on Discord. That should be it. Thanks, Game Way Out. I can't wait to see you there. Goodbye.